Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Matt here, back with another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. Well, so this is April the 7th. Tomorrow is April the 8th, a very important day in my life, but we'll get into that another time. But it is also UFC 287 goes down tomorrow. Israel Adesanya challenges Bohatan Alex Pereira for the middleweight championship in their, I guess you could say, rematch, because it's the second fight in the UFC, overall fourth fight because they fought twice in kickboxing. All three fights have all been won by Alex Pereira. And I just wanted to come in here and talk about just a couple of things on tomorrow's show. A couple of things. We're going to get to a couple of things. Bro, all right, so this might be an unpopular opinion, but let me go ahead and get off into it. Bro, Israel Adesanya is lame as H. You know, I don't really cuss because I might be trying to make 5 cents off his video. But he's lame as H, bro. Come on, man. And I know it might be lame that I'm not cursing, but let's get into it. Bro, all right, so let's just put it on the table. First off, Israel Adesanya, outstanding fighter. One of the greatest middleweights of all time, okay? Skillful striker, sets traps, outstanding, can fight out of any stance, southpaw, orthodox, outstanding kicks, great takedown defense, fairly good grappler, at least up against the cage. Marketable guy, you know, good fashion sense for the most part, kind of questionable nowadays, but all around outstanding guy, outstanding fighter. And what I want to say, a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about on this channel, let's go ahead and make a few things clear. I'm a nobody, bro. I'm just a dude in Louisville, Kentucky making YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is not my only job. I have a career outside of this. I have a wife. I have a son. You know, I'm a lot of things. But what I wanted to say is I wanted to say this. I say some things on this channel that, you know, if a fighter should ever come back and watch this video or ever see this, I promise you, this is not an attack on anybody. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. Obviously, I'm watching these guys fight or these women fight. I'm spending my own money on pay-per-views for these people. So I don't say this in any way like I'm somebody. I'm not the guy with Cheeto fingers behind the keyboard. I know every one of these people will beat me up in real life, so on and so forth. So let's get that out the way. But bro, Israel Adesanya is lame, bro. Let's just get into it, bruh. I mean, he always seemed cool, but increasingly with each win over like maybe the last year and a half to 2 years, Izzy has gotten lamer and lamer. And to me, it screams someone who grew up getting bullied and now they're the top dog and they just don't know how to handle that spot. Was he handling his spot? Yes, he was. He was making millions of dollars. He's buying cars, houses. He's living his life, man. You know, he's going to Breakfast Club. He's hanging with Charlemagne. He's doing cool stuff. But to me, I have a good sense of different things. I know how to read people. And I always read this man, at least from his public persona, as this was a guy that, which I believe he spoke about growing up and being bullied. To me, he always came off to me, he always screamed, I'm a guy, when I was a kid, I got bullied, and now I'm at the top of a weight class in the biggest fighting organization in the world. And most anybody that ever bullied me, I would beat them up now. Most people walking the earth, I would beat up, except for Alex Pereira. But he always came off like that. He always came off like a guy who's always been bullied and now he's at the top. And people like that, a lot of the times they just don't know how to act because they're acting in a way that, man, I was always ridiculed. I was always made fun of, and now I'm cool. Now I'm at the top. And they never know how to tone it down. Their parameters that the rest of us have, and you know, a lot of us were bullied, so it's not like we're strangers to it, but a lot of people get over that. A lot of people work that out of their system. Some people go get help. They go get therapy. Whatever the case, they work that out, and then that they're even. They have a good barometer. You know, they know how to measure. They know what to say, what not to say, how far to go, and how far not to go with people. Izzy has always come off like a jerk to me. And I don't think he's in real life, he's really a jerk. He seems like a really cool guy, really nice guy. But I feel like he's a guy that was always bullied, and now he's at the top. So he kind of feels like, hey, I can say whatever, I can do whatever. And now you got Bohatan, Alex Pereira, the middleweight champion, who's like, bro, I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care about your anime, about your movies. I don't care about the pearls around your neck. I don't care about the car you drive. Bro, when you step in the cage with me, you getting hit with a left hand and you going to sleep. And that's just what it's been for 3 fights. So now, granted, one of them he won by decision. One, he knocked Izzy out. The other one, the one in the UFC, he was on his way to a knockout. Izzy, Ariel, everybody can go out here and lie and act like, it was an early stoppage, bro. Stop. Do Izzy's mama a favor and say that it wasn't an early stoppage, because if the referee hadn't stopped it, the man would have got uppercutted into oblivion, and his mama and his family would have been crying because he would have been knocked out. And I mean no disrespect. Again, I know I'm paying my money to watch this guy fight. So I know where I stand in the pecking order. I'm a nobody. All right? He'll probably never see this video. And if he did, he has the right to say whatever dog clown stuff he wants to say to me, because I'm a nobody, and I recognize that. I'm just a guy who's going to pay whatever the cost is, 70, 75, 80 bucks for the pay-per-view. And he's a guy making millions of dollars, and he's going out there, he's getting all the glory, he's on Front Street. But lame is lame. Anytime a grown A man comes to a press conference wearing a goofy looking dog collar, in which no one really cared about. We noticed it, but we're like, whatever. Shout out to Jose Youngs from MMAfighting.com, who actually asked him, what is this dog collar around your neck? Like, what does this symbolize? And he's like, oh, because I'm about to be off the leash. I'm unchained. Whatever he said, it doesn't matter. I paraphrase. Come on, man. The public needs to quit idol worshiping, hero worshiping these guys, man. If Kobe Covington would have said that, y'all would have roasted him. If somebody that y'all don't like would have said that line, you would have roasted them into oblivion. You know what I'm saying? The public knows they would have been like, what is wrong with this guy? And y'all let him skate because maybe you're as uncool as uncool. So to you, Izzy's the coolest guy in the world. And I'm not saying I'm cooler than Izzy by no means. Again, millionaire, wealthy, famous, has mansions, cars, whatever. He's been on the Breakfast Club, whatever you want to say, bro. I'm a nobody. But cool is cool. And, bro, here's what I'm saying. Anytime you come out with these comments, y'all know if Kobe or anybody else would have said that, anybody that y'all dislike, if John Jones would have said that, y'all would roast them. And you're letting this man skate around here looking silly like that. All right? His whole demeanor this week to me screams he's insecure about what has happened between him and Alex Pereira. He's insecure that the fan base, while he's still a fan favorite, are slowly starting to see the cracks in his armor. They're slowly starting to see that his mental demeanor, his mental vault has somewhat been unlocked, in my opinion. Just my humble opinion. And the man has been acting weird and lame all week, dog. I mean, come on, bro. Y'all know this. Y'all letting this man get out here. It's 2023 and homie's up here quoting lines from 8 Mile. Eminem is not even the main rapper or the number one rapper in the world anymore. And this guy's quoting 8 Mile. And I get the symbolism of what he was saying. But if someone else that most of the public MMA fans dislike would have been like, this is my moment. This is my 8 Mile moment. This is my time. It's now or never. You gotta lose yourself. Bro, it's mom spaghetti. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. Y'all know, y'all, come on, just a little bit. Y'all being a little bit unfair because you think this guy's cool. You kind of like him. Man, this guy is coming off whack. He's coming off lame, bro. I mean, come on, man. Like, y'all got to speak the real. We're not saying he's a bad fighter. We're not saying that he's terrible. We're not saying any of that. I mean, my favorite middleweight of all time has always been Anderson Silva, period. And I know he beat Anderson Silva in the later years. But I know that he beat Anderson Silva. Izzy is probably the number 2 middleweight ever. Ever. And a lot of people, if you're not an Anderson Silva fan, Izzy is probably your number 1 middleweight fighter of all time. That's cool. That's cool. And I don't feel like he's robbed any guys as far as fights. He's gotten a decision or a nod or anything. He's earned everything he's gotten. But come on, y'all letting this man skate around here wearing dog collars, talking about, this is my moment. This is my chance. Like, he's always talking about, this is my movie arc and this is this. Man, come on, bro. Be a professional. No one is saying that you have to be boxed in. You have to fit in a box. You can still be your authentic, unique self. But come on, dude. You're being lame, man. You're up here talking about 8 Mile and all this. And it's like, bro. And he just seems visibly bothered. He's in press conferences snapping on, interviewers, workers within the building, within the venue, within the arena that are just doing their job. There's little noises happening, and Izzy's like, what was that? Please be more respectful. You're distracting me. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but come on, man. What is wrong with this guy? I mean, we've seen a lot of intense fighters, but this was just like lame. Like, not intense like that. Like, it's just very annoying, okay? I'm not an Izzy hater, but he's just very annoying. And what's more annoying to me is the fact, not specifically Izzy fans, but Izzy fans and the public are just letting him skate by doing weird stuff that you would call out if other fighters that you normally dislike were doing that. And at a point, I'm like, how far can your heroes, the people that you look up to, how far can they go before you're finally like, okay, I didn't like that? Like, it's okay to say somebody is being lame. Like, it's all right, bro. You can say somebody's being lame and still be a fan of them. Because, I mean, I'm not an Izzy hater. I kind of like the guy as a fighter. But outside the octagon, man, I just don't know about this guy. Anyway, in my humble opinion, I'm picking Alex Pereira to win. I think he's going to get it done faster. I don't think this is going to go to the scorecards. He's either going to stop him or he's going to knock him out. And stop him meaning he's going to put him in enough peril that the referee's going to call off the fight. But although if he went out there and beat Alex Pereira, it would not shock me. Why? Because he's like the number 1, number 2 middleweight in the world, period, of all time. So, that was just my take on what I've seen out of this week, which has been so annoying coming from him, right? And I know he doesn't care about me being annoyed, but come on. If you're listening to this video, please admit, Izzy's been lame all week with his stupid comments. He has. Anyway, I'm picking Boatan to take that fight. I hope he takes that fight. Should be outstanding. I think people are confusing someone that has tons of nervous energy in Izzy as he's dialed in, he's focused. He's distracted by people at a press conference that are making, at a media day, that are making noises and accidentally closing laptops too loud. And he's like, what was that? Watched. Stop. Just stop with all the stuff, man. He's got to stop. Anyway, that's that. What else are we going to get into? Let's touch on a couple other little fights on the card. let's shout out to Cynthia Calvillo that made weight at 115. She weighed in 116 pounds. You know, she was one, if not the last, she was one of the last fighters to weigh in. I was a little worried that she was going to miss weight. It's good to see, you know, that she came in there. She looks focused. She looks in good shape. It's good to see her make weight. Um, you know, I'm actually picking Loopy to win that fight, but shout out to Cynthia. I was happy to see her make weight and kind of prove everybody wrong that was thinking, oh man, she's coming in late. She might miss weight. So that was good to see, although I am picking Loopy in that fight. Shout out to Michelle Watterson Gomez, I believe, who's coming in outstanding shape. You know, she's been on somewhat of a losing streak, not a bad one here lately. It's going to be interesting to see her fight. She looks in tremendous shape. You know, I'd like to see her win that fight, but you know, I don't know. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to pull it off, but we will see. I'm not picking her or anything, but just want to shout her out. It's good to see some of the vets still coming in there doing their thing. So that was cool to see. Let's talk about Street Jesus Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal. You know, let's talk about him. This is going to be an interesting fight with Gilbert Burns. Um, so straight up, I mean, man, I mean, you have to go with what you know, and I got to pick Gilbert Burns to win that fight. So I'm picking Gilbert to win that. I love Jorge Masvidal. I've always been a fan of him. I was a fan of him when he was fighting at 155, and I feel like he got robbed of a few decisions. I've always liked him. I liked him when he had the short, close cut all the way to Street Jesus. It's always been amazing. Had a wonderful career. He's in a very good position. A lot of people say interesting position. Some people say a bad position. I say he's in a very good position because here's a guy that came from nothing, used to street fight, you know, on the same streets, same street cars that uh, I can't remember his name. Uh, what is your boy with the beard? Shout out to him. Rest in peace to him. I cannot. Kimbo Slice. I used to me and my homie Jay. Shout out to Jay. When we was in high school, we used to love watching his videos on YouTube, and he was just doing people dirty. I mean, just doing them dirty, breaking eye sockets and stuff in the backyard. Just just manhandling people with ease. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know. Anyway, bro, Jorge Masvidal, I love Jorge. Shout out to him. He's a great guy. You know, I have to pick Gilbert in that fight, but at the end of the day, it would be amazing if Jorge was to pull it off. If Jorge was to stick it to everybody who's counting him out, he's obviously an underdog going into this fight. If he was able to pull that out and get into a position to either fight Leon Edwards for the welterweight championship, not saying that he deserves a title shot. I will say right now, he does not deserve a title shot, period. He's already gotten two. I mean, he doesn't deserve a title shot. But it would be awesome to see if he was able to defeat Gilbert Burns and face Leon Edwards for the title, or to fight the winner of Leon Edwards versus Kobe Covington for the welterweight belt. Both fights, I would not pick Jorge Masvidal to win, honestly. But as I said about Izzy, you can be a fan of somebody and also still believe that they're probably going to lose a fight. I don't pick him to beat Gilbert. I don't pick him to beat Leon Edwards, nor do I pick him to beat Kobe Covington. But I just think it would be a cool story if Miami, MIA, you know what I'm saying? If he goes in there, you know, the 305. I just want to throw that out there, you know what I'm saying? If he was able to go in there and shock the world and beat Gilbert Burns, that would be interesting. But in that fight, I gotta choose Gilbert. He's on another level right now. His striking is looking way better than it's ever looked. It's crisp, it's sharp. His jab has been looking solid, and he's got like a power jab. It's not just a light jab. His jab is power. It hits you, and you're like, "What was that? Was that a punch, a kick? I don't know." And then, I mean, if it goes to the ground, it's definitely probably going to be a wrap. I mean, we're talking about world champion BJJ. That's just what it is. So that's going to be a pretty cool fight. Outstanding. Can't wait to see that. I got to take Adrian Yanez against my boy Rob Font. I love Rob Font. I've been a huge fan of him, but I think it's Adrian's time. And I mean, coincidentally, they call him Lil Masvidal. I can't wait to see him fight. I love watching his stand up. I love the way he puts together combinations. He's no slouch on the ground either. He's got a pretty solid ground game. Rob Font, though, that jab, that boxing is always crisp, always good. He's got outstanding takedown defense as well. He's been on sort of a skid here lately, but it's going to be good to see him go back into the octagon and try to get a win. In that fight, I got to choose Yanez. That's who I'm going with, but I wouldn't be sad if Rob Font pulled it off, but I got to go with Adrian. That's another fight I'm in. I can't wait to see. It's going to be a great card. I don't know. There's a lot of fights I really loved. I really can't wait to see on there, but not a lot I feel like we need to get into. We've had the weigh-ins, only one weight miss. I'm sure they'll work out a deal where he'll give up 20 or 30% of his purse. And I think he still had like an hour to try to make weight after he missed it the first time on the scale. I don't know if he's going to end up pulling it off. He was over a pound. He was over a pound heavier than what he should have been, and that's a lot to lose in an hour. So I will admit I'm not up to date. I'm not sure if he made weight in that hour. If he did, shout out to him. But if he didn't, it is what it is. Weigh-ins were pretty regular, pretty tame, not a lot going on. Alex Pereira made weight. He didn't look sunken out at all. He didn't look drawn out. He looked in pretty good shape. He looks like he really came in lighter this week so he could make that 185-pound weight limit, championship weight. He looked good, He didn't need the box around him or anything. He was definitely able to make weight, so that was cool to see. So, main event is set. Co-main event is set. It's the day before. Tomorrow is April the 8th. It's going to be outstanding pay-per-view. Also, as I spoke on earlier, April the 8th, special day. That would be your boy's birthday. Shout out to me. Shout out to Matt. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matter of Fact MMA. It's your boy's birthday tomorrow, April the 8th. I'm going to be celebrating, and I'm going to be watching the pay-per-view. And I'm watching the prelims. And I'm going to be lit. And it's going to be awesome. So, hyped up for this weekend. Hyped up for this show. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I appreciate, all the feedback that I get in the emails and everything. I love it. I like that you people are loving the content, loving my takes. And the people that have disagreed with me, you're awesome too, because we've been able to kind of, have a conversation back and forth via email. And I haven't changed anybody's opinion. But at the same time, it's been a respectful conversation. That's what you love to see. You love to show people that we can all disagree and still come together, have a conversation, and try to prove each other's points. So I appreciate everyone that's ever clicked on one of these videos or seen any of this. You're awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And like, subscribe, comment. Once again, thank you, guys. And I'll see you next time. Peace.